Hi, I want to talk about another case in which the plaintiff sued civilly for what was sexual assault as opposed to using the human rights process. As I mentioned earlier, the highest award made in the human rights process for sexual assault is $200,000. And that was an unusual case. So use that as a high side award, human rights, and compare what may happen in the civil process if you're thinking about which way to go. So there's another case that went to the Ontario Court of Appeal. This was in 2012, in which the plaintiff was sexually assaulted on 4 separate occasions by her employer. The company was known as Deluxe Windows. The individual who owned the company was also sued. His name is Mickey Weig, W-E-I-G. And Mr. Weig also spent time in Her Majesty's confinement due to criminal charges that were brought against him because of these issues. So what happened in this case, the trial decision went to a jury, and the jury awarded $300,000 in damages for assault and battery. That's normally the tort claim, the civil wrong claim that's used in sexual harassment cases. They don't call it the tort of sexual harassment. They use this term assault and battery. So she recovered $300,000 for damages for assault and battery, a further $25,000 in aggravated damages for further emotional suffering, an additional $45,000 for future health care costs. We haven't stopped yet, and another $100,000 in prejudgment interest, which took the amount well over $468,000. But again, there's more. She also recovered another $150,000 in legal costs. So by the time the case was done and said, she recovered roughly $600,000. So it was a huge victory for her. And keeping in mind, again, the comparator in human rights, which was an exceptional case in human rights, is $200K in Ontario. And also be mindful that in Saskatchewan and Manitoba and in the federal jurisdiction, that wouldn't apply in this instance, but if you were in these jurisdictions, in Saskatchewan, the most you can get is $20,000. Manitoba, most $25,000. Under federal jurisdiction, human rights, most $40,000. So this is a huge difference between civil claims, human rights. Other jurisdictions like Ontario, BC, Alberta, etc., have no caps. But nonetheless, learn and beware and choose your procedure very carefully when you're thinking about seeking compensation for sexual assault. In this case, it wasn't specified with any degree of particularity what the sexual assaults were, but it must have been extremely severe. And I suspect forced intercourse, but I don't know that for sure. The evidence of the plaintiff through medical evidence was that she suffered serious traumatic psychological issues. So there you have it.